Good afternoon. I'm here with Frédéric GIOVANSILI of TIKEHAU, and I'm here to talk with him about opportunities for private markets. Good afternoon, Frédéric.
Good afternoon, David.
Thanks
for having me.
Briefly introduce yourself and your company, please?
So my name is, as you said, is Frédéric GIOVANSILI. I'm the Deputy CEO of TIKEHAU Capital. TIKEHAU Capital is a 50 billion AUM firm. Global today, 17 offices globally with European roots. And we are active in yield strategies and value-add strategies, PE and real estate. That's the bulk of our offering.
So what do you think drives this interest in private markets in these days?
Look, when you look at both sides of the equation, right? Private markets today is a large part of the addressable market for investment. If you think about it, you have 80% of the companies with 100 million or more of revenues are privately owned companies, right? So that's a huge amount of value creation is on the private side. And it keeps growing. There are more companies today shifting from public side to private than private to public. So that's the environment we are currently in. On the other side, the private wealth is also a growing pool of capital that wants to access this kind of investable assets. And we're here just to make the two universe meet between the investable assets and the need of this growing pool of capital.
What do you see as the biggest opportunities and the biggest challenges for making private capital more accessible to, mom and pop, to the retail investor?
Yes, first of all, David, I think there is, retail or mom and pop is a kind of misnomer, right? Because it's not so much retail if you think about it. Right now, when we say retail or democratization of this industry, it covers family office, which are, to be fair, mainly mid-market financial institutions. They are not really retail, right? Mm-hmm. You have, of course, the private investor, individual investor, and you have the defined contribution pension business. Mm-hmm. So it includes a lot of different types of investors, different kind of offering, different kind of ways to tackle this kind of investors. So the mom and pop, as you rightly said, is not really, to be fair, our main target. It's more wealthy part of the mom and pop. Maybe it's a grandmom or grandpop, wealth to invest. Yes. Because let's face it, right? Private markets takes time to create value. So liquidity has improved over time, and the offering, and we'll come to that, I guess, have improved over time for this investor to feel more comfortable. But it's still, a patient capital, and we don't want to tackle what I call the precautionary saving, which are very short-term saving. You pool of capital you put on the side just in case, and the long-term saving. We want to tackle the long-term saving from these investors, and there is a lot of. The capital pool is increasing significantly in this area. So that's definitely what we want to tackle. But some of the drivers of the value creation in this business has been, first of all, new regulation, especially in Europe. When it comes to Europe, you have what we call LTIF 2.0, new regulation a couple of months ago, providing a regulatory framework to provide redemption features and liquidity, which is an important part for this investor. And also the offering and the structuring of the offering with the evergreen or semi-liquid, depending how you want to present them, have also been growing. So new product on the shelf, new regulation. So the environment enables us right now to provide a relevant offering aiming at these kind of investors.
So with all these players in wealth management coming in with the AUM, how is that going to affect investment strategies of the GPs?
I think we need to differentiate in the asset management what I call the transformation business, which are transforming saving into investable assets. So traditional asset management industry, right? Yes. The BlackRock of this world, very large players. Whatever assets you provide, they will transform it into investable assets, right? They are passive, they are concentrated, but they are role-based. In what we do in private market is the difference. There is no algorithm, there is no formula, it's more based on our judgment. We are more alpha underwriters. So the reason I'm mentioning that, David, is that when you consider asset management in the retail business, it's two different kind of product offering, it's two different kind of reaching out to the investor. When it comes to private markets, definitely we view the private market to shift from more value add or private equity to private credit. And we believe at TIKEHAU that borrowing is good for retail. When you want simple product, cash generating product, yes, maybe not 15, 20% kind of target, but more like, 7 to 10%, but more yield generating, more stable. So borrowing is good. So we believe that private credit or everything that is income driven, including infrastructure, will benefit from this shift from more absolute return, hedge fund kind of return, private equity kind of return into more yield, revenues kind of driven strategies. So we see this shift happening over the last, let's say, 18 to 24 months, and it's going to keep shifting because yes, if you want especially to reach out to large pool of investors, borrowing is a good thing, right? I mean, borrowing simple things is a good set of features.
And what borrowing products are you providing to provide access for these retail investors to private capital?
Mainly private credit, what we call direct lending, so financing mid-market privately owned companies. When you are a borrower, right, when you are a growing company and you need to, so yes, you need capital, private equity. But if you're privately owned, where do you find your source of funding? Banks. But it's fair to say that banks right now, especially in Europe with the regulation in Basel III or IV, whatever is getting an impediment, especially for long-term funding. You have public investment capital, public capital markets, which in Europe, you still don't have a kind of investment and saving union. I mean, it's, we've been trying to create this investment union, but it's more challenging. And you have the alternative lender, people like us, private pool of capital, long-term funding, and you can lend. So it's, you borrow long-term from your investor and you lend long-term, right? And to these mid-market companies to support their growth. So that's what we provide, and we believe that meeting the long-term need of the investor with the long-term needs of this borrower is the right thing to do. And it's very complementary to what the banks are providing, and what the investment capital market is providing as well.
So a great area of growth for you.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
your
much,
time.
David.